what do you find wrong with the current education system, and why are we not teaching what you call these liberating arts?
Well, the root cause of what is wrong with the education system is that a third party is paying for it. We could go on all day sort of nitpicking the symptoms, but that is the disease. And when something is being paid for, the person who pays for it is the customer, and it is the customer who gets served. So when you don't pay for your education, when the government pays for your education through money that it has taken from other people, then the government decides on some level what you are going to learn, and you do not have so much as a veto power, because if you pack your bags and go somewhere else to some other college, you're getting the same thing because the government is paying for that either through these kinds of education grants, through the Stafford Loan Program. You're not writing the checks, so you don't decide the curriculum. And when somebody else decides the curriculum that you are going to be educated from, then they are going to give you the education that is going to make you useful to them, not specifically the education that is going to make you useful to you. And this is something that Cicero talked about when he talked about education, and I would highly recommend giving those bits of his writings a read, because we don't really have an organized version of what Cicero would have considered education. That what we call education today is mostly actually training. And that is the kind of education that in Rome would have been given to slaves. A slave is essentially a human machine where he's property. He's going to spend his whole life doing one task, so you give him job training. Job training is not education. It is preparation to do a specific task. If in that era of history, if someone was a free man, a Roman citizen with the full rights thereof, who could, carry weapons and do all the things that Roman citizens could do, it was expected that he would probably need to be able to do many different things in his life because he would be acting in his own interest. He was not a slave. He did not exist to serve someone else. He existed to benefit his society, but also to serve himself. And hopefully the two would align. So that meant that you couldn't possibly teach him everything he might need to know, because you had no idea what he might need to know. He had no idea what he might need to know. So you taught him how to train himself. You taught him how to learn. And education is not about how to do a task. It's about how to learn a task.